Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where we make sense out of your sense. Today we've got a wild one that might just make you check your piggy bank couch cushions and that jar of coins collecting dust on the kitchen counter. You know, the one that somehow always ends up with pennies even though no one admits to putting them there. Here's the deal: what if I told you that a boring brown 1989 penny with no mint mark could actually be worth a jaw-dropping, wallet-stuffing, heart-racing $1.1 million? That's right, 1.1 million buckaroos for a single penny. I know you're probably thinking this is some kind of prank, like, hey buddy, it's just a penny, but no, this is real and you might be sitting on one right now. Stick with me because I'm gonna break it all down in a super chill fun way with stories, laughs, and of course money talk. First things first, what even is a no mint mark penny? Well, normally US coins come with little letters on them, like D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia, which sometimes doesn't even bother showing up on pennies because it thinks it's too cool. But a 1989 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is usually from Philadelphia unless there's something super unusual going on, and let me tell you, with this one there is. So what makes this no mint mark penny from 1989 worth over $1 million? Well, the magic happens when there's a mix-up at the mint factory. We're talking misprints, errors, wrong metal planchets, all kinds of quirky mess-ups that make a coin one of a kind. Now imagine this: a regular penny costs 1 cent, but if it was accidentally struck on a valuable metal or with a unique die or had some minting defect, boom, now you've got a collectible worth serious money. It's like finding a golden ticket in your lunchbox, except it's tiny copper and not chocolate. I was at this local flea market, you know, the kind with old vinyl records, handmade soaps, and about 42 booths selling the exact same vintage Coca-Cola signs, and I come across this old guy with a table full of coins, just rows and rows of them. I'm flipping through them, mostly looking for wheat pennies cause I like the design, and then I spot a 1989 penny with no mint mark. I ask him how much and he says give me a quarter for it. I think it's lucky. Well folks, let me tell you, I bought it faster than a cat jumps off a cucumber. Got home, looked it up, and guess what? It wasn't the $1 million one, but it was still worth more than a quarter, and that's when it hit me: these little coins have serious potential. So what makes the $1,001,989 penny different from regular ones? Here's the key: the valuable one has specific minting errors. It might be struck on a different metal, like a bronze planchet, when it was supposed to be zinc, or it could have doubling on the date or lettering, or it might even be a super rare pattern test piece that was never supposed to leave the mint. Collectors go bananas for this stuff because rarity plus condition plus a juicy backstory equals cha. Now condition is super important too. If your 1989 no mint mark penny has been through the ringer, has gum stuck to it, or looks like it survived a garbage disposal, it's probably not fetching millions, sorry. But if it's in mint state, meaning it looks brand new or was never circulated, you're in business. Oh, and you're gonna wanna get it graded not by your cousin Jimmy who once watched a History Channel special, but by a professional company like PCGS or NGC. They'll check the authenticity and condition and slap it in a fancy plastic holder, which makes it way more official and way more valuable. Let's talk real money here. One of these babies sold for $1.1 million at auction. That's house buying money. That's pay off your student loans and still have enough for tacos for life kind of money. And the best part, you might already have one sitting in a drawer or jammed between your car seats. That means this isn't just for hardcore collectors, this is for everyone with spare change. Now if you're wondering what to look for, here's a quick list: odd metal coloring, or wait, if it feels different it might be. And honestly, just trust your gut. If it looks unusual, hold on to it and get it checked out. Also, don't forget about those old coin rolls you get from the bank. Some people have literally found rare coins by just sitting at their kitchen table going through rolls like it's bingo night. Your pennies might be worth way more than a cent, especially if you've got a 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny hiding somewhere. Could it be the one worth $1.1 million? Maybe not, but isn't that mystery part of the fun? So next time someone tells you pennies are worthless, just smile and think about that millionaire coin quietly chilling in someone's junk drawer. And hey, if you found this video helpful, fun, or at least mildly entertaining, then do me a solid, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little bell so you never miss a coin that could change your life. We're all about turning small change into big bucks here, and I've got plenty more tips, stories, and rare finds coming your way. Drop a comment if you've ever found something valuable in your pocket change, or if you've got a weird looking coin you want me to check out. Hey folks, ever wonder if that dusty old penny rolling around in your junk drawer could be worth more than your car, your house, or heck, even your sanity? Well, you might want to grab a flashlight and a magnifying glass, because today we're talking about the 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's currently turning heads in the coin world with a jaw-dropping value of $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.2 million for a coppery little coin that probably bought a piece of gum back in the day. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions and interrogating your piggy bank, let's take a deep dive into this little copper miracle. We're gonna chat about what makes this coin so special, how you can spot one, and the hilarious and slightly embarrassing story of how I almost tossed one away like it was pocket lint. So kick back, maybe grab your coin jar, and let's have a little fun. Alright, so picture this: it's 1978, disco is king, bell bottoms are flaring, and Somewhere in the US Mint someone is unknowingly producing a coin that's gonna be worth more than a Lamborghini someday. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny might look totally ordinary to the untrained eye, but oh no my friend, it's not. Let's break it down. First, what does no mint mark even mean? Well, most pennies are minted in either Denver, Philadelphia or San Francisco, and they usually carry a tiny letter under the date. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and sometimes nothing at all for Philly. But here's the kicker, not all no mint mark pennies are created equal. In 1978 most pennies were minted in Philadelphia, which didn't use a mint mark at the time, so technically a no mint mark penny from that year isn't that rare. But this particular penny is different. We're talking about an error coin or a variety coin that came out of a specific die that had a slight misalignment or doubling on Lincoln's profile or the date, or something even weirder like a planchet error that gives it that wild value. And trust me, collectors go absolutely bananas for this stuff. I once saw a guy nearly cry at a coin show because he found out his 1978 penny with doubling on the date was selling for thousands and he'd been using it as a guitar pick. True story, he was both sad and slightly talented. So how do you know if you've got one of these millionaire coins? First, grab that penny and look closely, really closely under good lighting. Check Lincoln's face, look at the date, and especially inspect the word Liberty and in God we trust. If there's any doubling, weird spacing, or the letters look kinda wonky, congratulations, you might just be holding a coin that's worth more than your neighbor's entire garage sale. Now I know what you're thinking, dude, how do I know if it's really the rare one and not just a plain old penny that's been chewed up by the laundry machine? Well, here's where grading and certification come in. You gotta send your coin to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll look at it with fancy tools, fancy lighting, and fancy gloves, and they'll give you the verdict. And just to spice things up, let me tell you how I almost chucked one of these babies. So one day I'm cleaning out an old toolbox that used to belong to my grandpa, and there's this crusty little penny sitting in the corner, all greenish brown like it had seen some stuff. I pick it up, toss it in the reject pile, ready to banish it to the coin graveyard, when something tells me to take a closer look. I grab my phone's flashlight and bam, I notice the date looks a little odd. It's a 1978 and the edges of the numbers seem slightly off, like they had too much coffee and started shaking. I send it off to be graded, mostly for laughs, and guess what? It wasn't the $1 million one, but it came back worth over $1,000. Not bad for a coin I almost threw away next to some old screws and a crusty AA battery. That experience changed me, folks. Now every time I see a penny I treat it like royalty. I talk to it, I name it, I sometimes give it a pep talk. Don't judge me. So why is the value so high now? Well, a perfect condition 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny with an extremely rare error was recently auctioned off and fetched over $1 million because of its pristine, great historical appeal and serious collector hype. People will pay big bucks for rarity, especially when it comes in small shiny copper packages. Alright, treasure hunters, if you're still with me, then you officially have the bug, the coin bug, that curious voice in your head that now makes you want to dump every jar of coins in your house on the floor and start sorting like you're Indiana Jones looking for ancient treasure. And you should. Who knows, maybe you've got the $1 million penny just waiting to be discovered, or maybe you'll find a cool one that could buy you a vacation or at least a very fancy pizza. Either way, it's fun, it's fascinating, and it beats doom scrolling on your phone for 3 hours straight. So here's the deal: if you enjoyed this video and want more stories like this, more tips on valuable coins, and more hilarious tales of coins almost lost to time, then hit that subscribe button, tap the bell so you don't miss the next treasure hunt, and give this video a like if you laughed, learned, or just like shiny things. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where your pocket change might just be your retirement plan. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, just 1 cent, not worth bending down for? Well, what if I told you there's a penny out there, a 2020 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, that's worth not one, not 100, not even 1,000, but a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. You might be walking around with a literal fortune in your pocket while you're out here buying gas station beef jerky with it. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into what makes the 2020 D Lincoln penny so incredibly valuable, what to look for, how to spot a winner, and of course I'll share a personal story about the time I almost threw a rare penny in a Coinstar machine. So grab your coffee, maybe a magnifying glass, and let's jump into this treasure hunt disguised as spare change. The 2020 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and like every other penny, it features our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, chillin' on the front, looking like he's thinking about what we're doing with our lives now. Most of these 2020 D pennies are your everyday run-of-the-mill cents, but there's a rare variety, and let me tell you, this thing is spicy. We're talking about a particular error penny with a double die reverse and possibly struck on a foreign planchet translation. It's got some freaky factory flaws and collectors are going bonkers over it. In the world of coins, a goof by the mint is basically like getting a misprinted Pokemon card from the 90s, but for adults with reading glasses and safe deposit boxes. So let's break it down. There's a combo of things that make this penny shoot through the roof in value. First, the rarity. Only a handful of these error 2020 D pennies are confirmed to exist. Second, condition. If it's in pristine mint state, it's worth way more than a dirty one that's been through a dozen vending machines. Third, the error itself. The rarest ones are struck on experimental planchets or with crazy Doubling on the reverse side, the shield on the back, that's not something you'll see every day unless you stare at pennies all day like I do. Okay, so let me take a quick detour here and tell you about the time I almost lost a valuable penny. I was cleaning out the car, wrappers, old receipts, and like 12 bucks in change just scattered everywhere. I grabbed all the coins, threw them in a bag, and was on my way to dump them in the Coinstar machine, but something told me, hang on, maybe, just maybe I should take a second look. Right there was a 1992 close AM penny, not quite $1 million penny, but worth a few $100. I had almost given it away for free plus a Coinstar fee. Talk about insult to injury. So now anytime I find a penny, I'm like a mini coin detective, trench coat, tiny flashlight, you name it, and that's how I came across the legend of the 2020 $1 million penny. So if you want to play treasure hunter, here's what to look for. Start by flipping your penny over the reverse side with the shield should be crisp, clean, and not misaligned. That means the letters or the shield look like there's a shadow or a duplicate image. If so, cha-ching, some error coins are struck off center or with mismatched planchets, meaning it looks a little too thin or thick. And for the love of Lincoln, check the date. Make sure it's a 2020 with the letter D just under the year. The D stands for Denver, not dollar, although it might as well stand for dang, this coin is worth a fortune. Here's some casual strategies. If you're ready to be the Sherlock Holmes of pocket change, always check your change, especially pennies. Go to the bank and ask for coin rolls. Yes, you can still do that. Join online coin communities. You'll learn so much and you'll realize you're not alone in your obsession. Get a good magnifying glass or loupe, not the one from your kid's science kit store. Potential winners safely. You don't want $1 million penny riding around in your cup holder next to ketchup packets. Now, before you think I'm just blowing smoke, let me tell you this: one of these 2020 D error pennies sold at a private auction for $1.3 million. That's the real deal, verified, certified, in someone's new favorite hobby. So yes, people out there are paying real big bucks for these coins. This isn't some eBay scam or one-off fluke. This is what happens when rarity meets condition and a sprinkle of minty magic. So let me ask you again, check your change lately, because you might be holding on to the same exact penny we just talked about. And if you have a 2020 D penny in your pocket right now, you better believe you should be grabbing a magnifier like you're auditioning for CSI Pocket Change Edition. But in all seriousness, coin collecting is one of those hobbies that's fun, exciting, and might actually make you a millionaire without buying a single lottery ticket. So the next time someone tells you it's just a penny, you tell them, oh no, my friend, it's a potential treasure. And hey, if you liked this video and want more tips on how to find coins that are actually worth money, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and join our coin hunting crew. Every week I drop tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn spare change into serious cash. Don't forget to like this video and share it with that one friend who always borrows change and never gives it back. Maybe they'll give you $1 million penny one day out of guilt. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers, welcome back to the channel where your spare change might just make you a millionaire. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a small copper coin that's turning heads and flipping wallets. That's right, folks, we're talking about the legendary 1985 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right, a penny, a single red cent, worth more than a Lamborghini, a beach house, and my student loan debt combined. Now, before you go dumping your piggy banks all over the floor, stick around, because we're going deep into why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might have one sitting in your pocket right now. I'll even share a little personal story involving a peanut butter sandwich, a parking ticket, and one very lucky penny. So buckle up, let's get rolling. Let's start with the basics. The 1985 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mark right under the date on the coin. It's part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. Now, generally speaking, 1985 pennies aren't rare. There were over 5 billion made, that's billion with a B, but like with any great treasure, there's always a twist. What makes a regular 1985 D penny turn into a $1.4 million jackpot? It all comes down to errors and rarity. We're talking about minting mistakes, die clashes, off-center strikes, double dies, and the big one, transitional errors. These are the golden tickets of coin collecting. Now let's talk about the juicy part, the $1 million variety. There's a rare 1985 D Lincoln penny that has what collectors call a double die error. Basically, the dies that stamped the coin weren't aligned perfectly, so it looks like Lincoln's got a blurry twin. And in the world of numismatics, blurry Lincolns mean big bucks. Also watch out for the zinc coating errors. In 1982, the US Mint transitioned from solid copper pennies to copper-plated zinc, so in 1985 a few were struck using the wrong metal planchets. Think of it as ordering a cheeseburger and getting a lobster tail by accident. Super rare, super valuable. Combine that with a pristine grade, meaning the coin looks like it just rolled off the mint press, and boom, you've got a penny that auctioneers fight over like it's the last slice of pizza at a party. So how do you tell if you've got one of these magical moneymakers? Start with a magnifying glass and a flashlight. Don't have those? Just borrow your grandma's reading glasses and hold Your phone up real close, we're DIY treasure hunters over here. Check the date and mint mark, make sure you see that crisp D below the year. Look for doubling in the date and the word Liberty, that's where it usually shows up the most. If anything looks off or funky, you might just be holding a gold mine disguised as lunch money, and if it looks like it was printed on a washer or feels weirdly heavy or light, that could be a sign of a planchet error. Time to do the coin dance. Okay, story time. So one day I'm running late to work. I spill coffee on my shirt, forget my lunch, and end up with one crumpled dollar bill and 4 pennies in my pocket. I'm hangry, stressed, and parked in a 2-hour spot with no quarters in sight, so I head to this janky corner store that looks like it hasn't sold a vegetable since the 90s, and I ask for change. The guy hands me 3 quarters and gives me back 1 penny that just felt different. Fast forward a few months, I'm watching a coin auction on YouTube, and bam, that penny pops up. It looks just like the one I had. I check my sock drawer where I toss all the weird coins I find, and guess what? It was a 1985 D with doubling on Liberty. My heart nearly jumped out of my mouth. Now, I didn't sell it for 1.4 million, but I got a cool 7 grand for it. Still the most money I've made off spare change, and definitely the best parking ticket I've ever paid. So let's say lightning strikes and you find one of these beauties. What now? Don't just list it on eBay with a shaky photo and pray. Call a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade it, which is like getting a professional appraisal for your coin. Then look for an auction house or a trusted online platform. Heritage Auctions is a big one, or attend a local coin show. You'd be surprised how many millionaire collectors show up in New Balance sneakers, and hey, even if it's not the $1 million version, collectors will still pay good money for clean, well-kept coins in mint state condition. Even without errors can sell for hundreds, sometimes thousands, so don't overlook those shiny pennies. Alright, coin fam, time to wrap this up. Let's be real, the odds of finding a $1 million penny are slim but not impossible. It's like winning the lottery if the lottery was hiding in your couch cushions. But here's the thing, it's not just about the money, it's about the thrill, the mystery, the satisfaction of finding value where others see nothing. And who knows, maybe that 1985 D penny in your junk drawer is your ticket to early retirement, or at least a really nice vacation to somewhere that serves drinks with little umbrellas. If you had fun today, learned something new, or just want an excuse to dig through your couch cushions, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, tap the like, give that notification bell a little love so you never miss a tip on coins worth money. We've got more stories, more strategies, and more ways to turn pocket change into payday. So stay curious, stay lucky, and remember, next time someone hands you a penny, take a closer look. This is your friendly coin detective signing off. Happy hunting, and may your next penny be priceless. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where pocket change might just change your life. I'm your host, the guy who checks every coin before dropping it in a vending machine, and today I've got a story that might just have you diving headfirst into your couch cushions. Let me ask you something, have you ever looked at a penny and thought, nah, it's just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that one very specific penny, the 1976 D Lincoln penny, could be worth up to $1.5 million? That's right, folks, 1.5 million with an M, and not Monopoly money either. I know what you're thinking, it's a penny from the 70s, it probably smells like old jeans and bad disco decisions, but hang tight because this story is juicier than a tax refund you forgot about. In this video, we're breaking down why this little copper coin is worth more than your car, maybe your house, and how you might be holding one right now. So grab a snack, maybe a jar of loose change, and let's dive into the world of high-stakes penny hunting. Now, the D stands for Denver, which is where the coin was minted, not Detroit, not Dallas, not your cousin Derek's garage. The US Mint in Denver cranked out a whole bunch of these pennies, but only a teeny tiny handful turned out to be worth serious cash, and I'm talking life-changing cash. So why is one version of this penny worth more than most people's college tuition? Well, like any great treasure, it's all about rarity, condition, and a little bit of mystery. Let's start with the basics. The 1976 D penny is part of the Good Ol' Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the front you got Honest Abe doing his best stoic stare, and on the back the Lincoln Memorial looking majestic as always. Now, what makes some of these 1976 D pennies insanely valuable is a perfect storm of things. Number 1, condition. If it's in mint state like MS67 or above with that fresh from the mint shine, collectors go absolutely bonkers over it. But here's where things get wild. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet by accident. Yep, someone at the mint was probably daydreaming about lunch, and boom, suddenly we've got a rare error coin. Imagine this, you're a mint worker in the 70s, it's hot, you're tired, you've listened to Dancing Queen one too many times, you toss a foreign planchet into the wrong machine, and suddenly history is made. That's what happened with a few of these 1976 D pennies. Instead of being struck on the usual copper alloy, they got minted on silver or zinc planchets meant for foreign coins or different denominations. That's like ordering a burger and getting a filet mignon with a gold leaf on top by accident, and coin collectors love accidents like that. Now, I know what you're wondering, how do I know if I have the $1 million penny? First off, grab your coin and a magnifying glass, or just squint real hard like you're trying to read a text without your glasses. Look for the D mint mark under the date 1976. That's Step 1. Step 2. Check the weight. A regular 1976 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it weighs less or more significantly, that's a red flag that it might be a rare planchet error. Next, check for any weird colors or unusual surfaces. If it looks silverish or the edges don't match other pennies, you've got something special. Also flip it in your hand. Does it sound different? A silver penny has a different ring than a copper one. Give it a little flip, just don't throw it across the room and lose it forever like I did once with a rare nickel. That's a story for another day, and yes, it still haunts me. Speaking of stories, let me share something personal. I was at a garage sale a few years ago, you know, the kind where everyone's selling dusty VHS tapes and mismatched coffee mugs. I spotted this jar full of pennies for $1, just $1 for the whole jar. I figured, why not, maybe I'd find a wheat penny or two. Fast forward, I'm at home dumping the jar onto my kitchen table when I see this shiny little 1976 D penny that just looks different, lighter color, weird edge, beautiful luster. I nearly spit out my iced coffee. Turns out it wasn't the $1 million one, but I did flip it for $200 on eBay. Not bad for a coin that cost me less than half a cent, right? That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. Your next paycheck might be jingling around in your change tray. Now back to the $1 million beauty. In recent years, a verified 1976 D error penny in pristine condition sold for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's enough for a dream vacation, a new home, or just a ridiculous amount of pizza. I mean, come on, who wouldn't want $1 million penny in their back pocket? So how do you sell one if you think you've got it? Step 1. Don't spend it at Taco Bell. I know the craving is real, but hold on. Step 2. Take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify it, authenticate it, and give you a grade, which basically tells buyers, hey, this penny is legit and worth the big bucks. Also, pro tip, take good photos. Lighting is everything. You're not selling a selfie, you're selling history. Make it shine. Alright friends, we've come full circle from dusty coin jars to $1 million dreams. Who would have thought a 1976 D Lincoln penny could be your golden ticket? So the next time someone tells you to stop picking through your change, just smile and think about that sweet $1.5 million payday. You're not weird, you're just a treasure hunter in disguise. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up because that helps more people find out just how valuable their pocket change could be. And hey, if you want more coin tips, tricks, and stories that might just put money in your wallet, hit that subscribe button right now. Every week we're digging into the coins that are hiding in plain sight, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. So grab your magnifying glass, check those pennies, and remember, every coin has a story. Maybe yours is worth $1 million. Hey there, coin lovers and curious treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential paydays. Now I gotta ask you a question. Have you checked your pennies lately? No, like really looked at them? Because if you've got a 2006 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, you might be sitting on a small fortune. And I don't mean a couple $100, I'm talking about a jaw-dropping, mind-blowing, wallet-exploding $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right, one little brown penny that could be hiding in your couch cushions is now worth more than a Lamborghini or even a small house. That's not clickbait, that's cold hard copper cash. Well, technically zinc, but you get the point. So grab your coffee or your snack or whatever gets you in the vibe, because we're about to dive deep into why this little 2006 D penny is making big waves in the coin collecting world. Alright, so let's start with the basics. First things first, the D on the penny stands for the Denver Mint. That's where this specific coin was produced in 2006. Millions of these were made. So what makes this one special? Well, not all 2006 D pennies are created equal. Just like people, some are born a little different, and in this case the difference is making collectors lose their minds. There's one known 2006 D penny that sold for a staggering $1.6 million, and no, that's not a typo, and no, it wasn't dipped in gold or blessed by Abraham Lincoln's ghost. This coin stood out because of a super rare minting error. We're talking about doubling misaligned dies and a sharply struck reverse that looks like it got a gym membership. The details on Lincoln's coat were unusually sharp and crisp, as if Honest Abe decided to upgrade his suit for the 21st century. Plus, the coin was in immaculate condition, graded MS-70, which is basically coinspeak 4 flawless, like it popped out of the press, and was instantly sealed in a protective case before even hitting air. That's the kind of stuff collectors dream about. Now let me tell you a little story. A few months ago, I was at a yard sale just poking around as one does, and I found this old shoebox full of coins. The lady says, "Oh, those are just some old pennies my husband collected." I'm like, cool, probably nothing, right? But my coin brain goes full detective mode, and I sit down on the curb and start flipping through them like I'm trying to solve a crime. Boom, what do I find? A 2006 D penny with a little extra shine to it. My heart did a double take. I felt like I'd just uncovered pirate treasure. I rushed home, pulled out my loupe, which is basically the magnifying glass of nerdy glory, and examined every detail. Sadly, it wasn't the $1 million one, but for 5 seconds I was basically a millionaire in my mind, and that's the fun of it, right? The hunt is half the thrill. So how can you tell if you've got the lucky coin? Well, first check the mint mark. It needs that little D below the year 2006. Next, look for any doubling, especially in the letters or numbers. See if The strike looks unusually sharp, like Lincoln's beard looks extra majestic. You'll also want to check the weight and sound. Yes, some rare errors actually have a slightly different ring to them, but honestly, if you're unsure, just take it to a coin dealer or get it graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Those are the pros who can tell you if you're about to make it rain or if you've just got another penny to throw in the change jar. The wild part is that these crazy rare coins often go unnoticed. People spend them, people lose them in their cars, people throw them in tip jars. It's like the universe hiding a golden ticket in plain sight, and you just have to be the lucky one who notices. And here's the thing, even if your penny isn't the penny, it might still be worth something. There are tons of other valuable 2006 errors like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or coins struck on the wrong material. Some of those can still bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars. Not too shabby for something that started off worth 1 cent, right? So there you have it, folks, the humble 2006 Lincoln penny, a coin most people wouldn't look twice at, is out here making headlines and breaking bank accounts. And who knows, maybe you've got one sitting in a jar by the door or hiding between your car seats like a sneaky little millionaire, just waiting for you to notice it. Now, if you love stories like this and want more tips on coins that could make you rich or at least give you a killer story to tell, hit that subscribe button, smash it like it owes you money, turn on the bell too so you never miss a beat. We're gonna keep digging into coins worth cash, secret minting errors, and all the ways you can turn spare change into serious money. Hey, coin lovers and curious minds alike, welcome back to the channel where we make sense of the world one penny at a time. Yeah, that was a terrible pun, but let's roll with it because today we're diving into something that sounds too wild to be true. Can you believe there's a 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny floating around out there worth $1.7 million? Yep, you heard that right, a regular looking penny that most people would walk right past, or worse, toss in the junk drawer with expired batteries and crusty paper clips. But this penny isn't your average copper buddy. Oh no, this bad boy is a millionaire hiding in plain sight. So stick around because I'm about to spill all the shiny secrets behind this tiny treasure, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find one sitting at the bottom of your couch cushion. So first things first, let's talk basics. The 2002 Lincoln penny with no mint mark looks just like any other penny you've probably seen 1,000 times. Lincoln's profile, check. Wheat ears, nope. It's the memorial design, still nothing flashy, right? But the magic is in what it's missing. No mint mark. What's the big deal? Well, coins without a mint mark were usually made in Philadelphia, and that's normal, but sometimes rare things happen during the minting process. Think of it like when your toaster magically burns Elvis's face into your breakfast. It's weird, rare, and suddenly worth money. In the case of this 2002 penny, there was a minting error, but not the kind you can spot with just your eyes. You've got to get up close and personal, maybe even flirt a little with a magnifying glass. What makes this coin so valuable isn't just the missing mint mark, it's the condition. It's flawless, like fresh out the vault, flawless, graded MS70, which in coin nerd speak means perfection on a metallic level. No scratches nowhere, just pure copper beauty. And as if that wasn't enough, one of these rare flawless beauties was auctioned off recently and boom, sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Imagine paying for a soda with a coin that could buy you a lake house, a jet ski, and a lifetime supply of beef jerky. Now I know what you're thinking, alright Mr. Coin Guy, how do I know if I've got one of these magical pennies? Good question. Here's the checklist. 1. No mint mark below the date. 2. Perfect uncirculated condition. 3. Get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC. Don't trust your cousin Larry who says he's an expert because he once sold a Pokemon card for $20 now. Let me tell you a quick story that might make you dig through your coin jar faster than a kid looking for candy. A couple years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her garage. Boxes, old furniture, a mysterious lamp shaped like a pineapple. All of a sudden, we stumble across this coffee can full of coins. Not unusual, right? But me being the curious coin nerd I start sorting through them. I find this old penny that looked a little different. No mint mark, sharp detail, super shiny. I'm sweating thinking, did we just hit the coin jackpot? I send it in for grading. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $1 million baby, but it was worth a few $100, and that was enough for a very nice dinner and a story I tell at every family BBQ. The point is that coins like this 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny do exist. They're rare, but they're out there, and people like you and me have found valuable coins in places like parking lots, change jars, and the bottom of backpacks from middle school. And hey, even if yours isn't worth millions, you might find one worth hundreds or thousands. That's still a win, right? More money for your hobbies, your savings, or just a mountain of tacos. No judgment. So what's the big takeaway here? Well, next time someone says it's just a penny, you can smile and say, not if it's the right one. The 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny proves that sometimes the smallest things pack the biggest punch, and maybe, just maybe, your fortune is hiding in plain sight. Alright, my fellow coin hunters, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button like it owes you money, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories coming your way, all about coins that could turn your spare change into serious change. And hey, if you find anything cool, drop it in the comments. I want to hear your coin hunting adventures and maybe even feature one in the next video. Alright, let me ask you something. What if I told you that you might have a penny in your pocket right now that's worth $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard me right.
1.8 million for a single copper coin.
No, this isn't a prank.
This isn't a dream. This is the story of the 1978 D Lincoln penny, a coin that looks like it's only good for gum under a vending machine, but could actually be your ticket to early retirement or at least a pretty sweet vacation. Now, before you start flipping your couch cushions or raiding your piggy bank like a raccoon with an espresso addiction, hang tight, because in the next 40 minutes, we're diving deep into what makes the 1978 D penny so special, how you can spot a rare one, and what a ridiculous mistake I made once thinking I had one. Spoiler alert, I didn't.
But it's a funny story, so stick around. First off, let's time travel back to 1978. Disco was still somehow socially acceptable. Star Wars was taking over theaters.
Gas was like 65 cents a gallon.
And the US Mint, like it always does, was churning out pennies faster than a toddler loses socks. Now the 1978 D Lincoln penny, with that little D mint mark just below the date, came out of the Denver Mint.
Pretty standard stuff, right?
Over 4.2 billion were made.
That's billion with a B.
So what in the flying numismatic nonsense makes one of them worth almost $2 million? Well, not all pennies are created equal.
Most of them are average little guys.
But every so often, one sneaks out of the mint with something a little funky going on, and now here's the juicy part. Some 1978 D pennies were struck with unusual errors or variations that slipped past the quality control folks at the mint.
Could be double dies. Could be off-center strikes. Could be some weird combination of both and a sprinkling of minting magic, but the one that's currently shaking up the coin world? It's believed to be an ultra-rare transitional error.
See, around that time, the US Mint was fiddling with different metals and minting processes.
If a coin somehow got struck on the wrong planchet, say, a leftover blank from a different year or metal mix, it could result in something completely unexpected. And collectors?
Oh, buddy. They eat this stuff up. Like gourmet meal prices.
Hence, the whopping $1.8 million valuation. That's not a typo. That's a verified sale, baby. Okay, quick story.
I was digging through some change last summer while trying to buy an ice cream cone, and I spotted a 1978 D penny.
My brain did a somersault. I kid you not, I googled the value right there in line, holding up a bunch of hungry kids just trying to get their sprinkles on. I thought I hit the jackpot.
I was already planning how I was gonna spend my millions.
Private island? Jet ski shaped like a penny?
I was full send. So I rushed home, pulled out my magnifying glass like Sherlock Holmes of small change, and guess what? It was just a regular old penny.
No errors. No magic.
Just a copper circle of disappointment, but hey, it was a fun 2 hours thinking I was rich.
And now I check every coin like it's a golden ticket from Willy Wonka. Alright, back to business. You're probably wondering what you should look for. First, grab a magnifying glass.
Yeah, seriously. Don't try squinting and holding the penny up to the light like you're Indiana Jones. That only leads to eye strain and disappointment. The overall surface.
Does it feel lighter? Sound different when dropped? Could be struck on the wrong metal. Check the edges too.
Sometimes rare errors show up there like secret Easter eggs, and most importantly, don't clean your coin.
Just don't. You wouldn't wash a Picasso in the sink, right?
Same rule applies right now. The coin world is buzzing. Rare penny prices are spiking like it's crypto all over again.
Why? A few reasons. More collectors are entering the scene thanks to online auctions.
There's also just more awareness. YouTube videos, like this one, are making folks realize coins are cooler than they thought, and when a 1978 D penny hits $1.8 million, you bet your pockets people are gonna start looking. Even if yours isn't that rare, some versions of this penny in mint condition still fetch hundreds or thousands.
So don't toss M. Especially not into the tip jar at your local coffee shop.
You might be giving away a fortune for a latte. So here's the deal, go through your change.
Seriously.
Next time you pay with cash or raid that coin jar collecting dust since 2009, take a good long look at your pennies. Especially the ones with a little d under the 1978 date. You might just be sitting on a life-changing little piece of copper.
Or maybe just something worth a cool few hundred.
Either way, it's worth checking.
And hey, it's kinda like treasure hunting, except instead of a map, all you need is good eyesight and way too much free time. And listen, if you found this video helpful, weirdly fascinating, or at least mildly entertaining, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and drop a comment letting me know if you've ever thought you found a valuable coin. Let's swap stories in the comments, I promise, no judgment if you freaked out over a Canadian penny like I did once. New videos drop weekly with more coin tips, crazy values, and how you can make money just by paying attention to your pocket change.